So in addition to the 750,000 refugees they create during the war, in addition to the 10,000 to 15,000 Palestinians they killed during the war, in addition to the 800 Palestinians they massacred during the war, then they massacre twice as many in the year and a half after the war. Between more than 1,000, potentially as many as 2,000 Palestinians massacred. And if you just go to 1956, they massacre as many as 5,000 Palestinians trying to return to their homes in the years after the war. And so I think really to understand how we got to where we got to today, to understand why the people in Gaza have been so rebellious for so many years, you have to understand that they were made refugees 75 years ago. And then many of them were slaughtered in their attempt to return to their homes after the war. And then they were slaughtered repeatedly again and again. In 1956, recall that Israel enters Gaza. It enters Khan Yunis on November 3rd, 1956, goes door to door, takes out every single male above the age of 18, line them up in the city center of Khan Yunis, and massacre them. We're talking hundreds of Palestinians massacred in 56. These Palestinians have memories of this stuff, right? Abdul Aziz al-Tisi, the co-founder of Hamas, was 8 years old and bore witness to that 1956 massacre. Well, guess what? A few decades later, he co-founded Hamas. And kind of one is just, it pains one to think of how many 8-year-old children are bearing witness to the atrocities today, and how many of those 8-year-old children in a decade or two from now are going to establish the next Hamas that carries out an atrocity on a far, far greater scale than the one that was carried out on October 7th. So yeah, 1948, I think, really begins is sort of the moment in time that you really begin to talk about the modern contours, of the Israel-Palestine question today.